crossing over cold carry mountains, saw Captain Fairway. So little one's already come out here. She's been yanking on me or wanting me to go. We're not ready to go yet. Toby's not done. She's impatient. Now she's ignoring me. It's really windy. I set up the camera to like film toward me on that thing. And the wind knocked it off. I was face down in the gravels. I'm like, dang, man. Broke my phone nearly. Alright, so like I say, I couldn't get a good shot from standing off, so this will have to do. What? Oh, hey. What's up, Corey? Well, that was one of those rare times when we get more than one person at a time at the dog park. That was one of my neighbors, Corey. All right, we'll finish this up inside.
All right.
So how you doing, guys? Yeah, that wind is a little nippy out there, but it's about 60 degrees, so it feels pretty good. Just that light jacket was good enough for today. Hope y'all are doing good. So yeah, a few things I thought I'd talk about today. I'm reading a couple books. I'm not reading so much as listening to. I say reading still, but really what I mostly do is listen to audiobooks now. Because I can kind of do that, and I zone out a little bit, so I usually listen to the same book like multiple times before I get the full, I feel like I got the full, benefit of it. But the books I've got are, one of them is called A Warrior's Way, and it's a book on the philosophies of Bruce Lee. And then I bought the Kindle ebook, you got to actually read it, edition of Bruce Lee's book that he wrote, or that he was working on when he passed away, and his wife and some other folks put together after his death. I think they call that posthumously or something like that. Anyway, the Tao, or the Tao, you pronounce it Tao, the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. And I've been reading, or been listening to on an audiobook, I think it's called Hagakure, and I'll try to find the titles, I'll put them in the description for you guys. But they're really pretty cool. I'm learning some stuff, and and all my interest in karate coming back to the surface has sprung about this new renewed interest that I've always had an interest, but this is it's a renewed interest in all things Oriental, especially Buddhism and the culture and the samurais and things like that. So I've been studying and thinking about that kind of thing. One of the things I've gotten into is listening to a lot of videos and talks and reading stuff about Zen Buddhism. That's really pretty cool. Also been doing a little bit of yoga to help stretching. I'm trying to limber up still. My diet is going great. I lost another 5 pounds since the last video I made with an update for the keto diet. Some days I do really good on keto, some days I fudge a little. I'm not perfect on it by any means, but I'm doing all right with it, and for the most part it's okay. I have found that the food without any carbs is kind of bland tasting to me. Even though it's meat and fats and cheese and stuff, it's still kind of, without any carbs, it kind of, something happens. To me anyway, it's kind of my experience. But it's been good. Like I say, I've lost another 5 pounds. I'm still doing my workouts. I'm doing the Zen 100 push-up challenge app for Android. And again, I'll try to make a link for that. It's a really cool app. Work you from 0 to 100 push-ups. But I'm up to, last night I did it and did 80 push-ups. And you don't do it all at once, okay? You break it down into about 5 different sets with 2-minute rest breaks in between. And what I do in those 2 minutes is I stretch my legs. And then I do push-ups, then I stretch, and then I do push-ups, I stretch for like 5 different sets of push-ups. And did 80 last night. Had to stop about 4 away from the finish on the last set and just breathe for a second. It was really, really pushing me, you know, so I was right up to that edge. Then I pushed out the last few, you know, and I got the 80. So I actually used kind of an extra set, you know. I rested, mini rest break for about 10 seconds or so. Still vaping, but this is on my mind to get this out of my life before long. One step at a time is all I can say, but this will eventually go bye-bye also. So here's a couple of things about Zen. Zen really is a, you know, people talk about that's a Zen moment, or then, you know, that's so Zen. You get a Zen garden, you know, and it's a hard thing, you know. It's like, what is Zen? What is that? Well, here's what I've found out so far, and this is just very basic stuff, right? But Zen is an offshoot kind of Buddhism that is about 1,500 years old. So it began somewhere in around 500 years, Common Era. I cannot, Bodhidharma maybe, I'm probably getting that wrong, but I think they call him Dharma, is basically the founder of this philosophy, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think Zen Buddhists call it a religion, and they might call it a way of life, a way of thinking, and you know, there's different thoughts about that too. And what is Zen itself? Is it describing something other than this philosophy? And it kind of is. It's describing something that's hard to put into words. And so it's like one of those things. If I can describe it to you, I've probably not really described it to you. Does that make sense? Not really. It's kind of a weird thing to wrap your head around, and I'm not there yet by any means. But a big part of it is meditation, where you try to clear your thoughts from your mind. There's a Zen posture, I guess. Kind of like maybe a yoga posture, but it's a Zen posture where you're sitting. And I know you can't see it real well, but I've got my legs crossed in my chair. Let's see here. I'll show you. Yeah, so you're sitting kind of like that, right? And your hands kind of make this shape, I think. I may have that wrong too, but you kind of rest your elbows on your knees, and you're just, you know, you've seen people sit in that kind of position before. That's the Zen, I forget what they call it. There's a name for it. But that's a Zen position, and basically it just means seated meditation. And meditation is something that I, you know, back when I was a pastor, I realized and recognized that there was a difference in meditation and prayer. And, you know, the way I described it to people back then, and I think it's a good basic kind of understanding, is that with prayer, you're putting things out there. You're asking God for things. You're saying things to God. You're putting things out there. With meditation, it's more like you're receiving, like you're opening yourself up. And I think that's still a pretty good basic, maybe fundamental part of it. But meditation goes deeper than that, in that one of the things you're doing is trying to eliminate thoughts and just be open to the nothingness, which is, it's a hard place to get to, really, because if you think about it, your brain never shuts off, right? So it's a difficult thing, and I'm trying to start to do this a little bit throughout, my day. I take one of the cool things is on the Fitbit, you get a relax option that you can run, and it's a guided breathing exercise is all it is. But it really is kind of a meditation, because it makes you just kind of stop, focus on your breathing, and let everything else just go. Now, it doesn't tell you to let everything else go. It just says focus on your breathing, and that's what you do, So I'll probably do more videos about Zen and about Oriental type ways of thinking that I'm looking at, and things that I'm reading. So this is just kind of an update on what's going on with me. I'm still doing the workouts, trying to do 3 a week. This week I've only done, I really haven't done any. Today's Tuesday, so the last time I worked out was Sunday. So I got to get back. Unless I count my push-ups last night, which I really don't, because that takes 15 minutes, not really a workout. But I'm getting my steps in pretty good. I'm getting 6,000 pretty consistently, and I'm thinking about going up in my daily goal, to 8,000 from here out. So, I want to show you, this is in the background. You can see my new picture hanging on the wall back there. If you've seen many of my videos when I'm in here, you probably notice there's nothing on that wall. I'm going to show you what it is a little closer. Okay, so I actually just took it off the wall so I could tell you about it. But that's my black belt certificate from where I got my black belt in 1986. I took it off the wall because I couldn't get a good picture of it with the glare and everything. But yep, I hung that up so that I could look at it every day and be motivated. Oh, that sound you just heard was a new app I've got called Zen Master. And what it does is kind of reminds me to contemplate on things in different parts of the day. It gives me some of the things that are in Zen. I'm gonna turn it back around here, guys. We'll continue. All right. So what I was saying was one of the neat things I've found about Zen Buddhism is that they have these things they call koans. Koans, combs. Maybe it's koans. I think it's combs. And what that is just little things that you can contemplate. Things that you can, that really don't have a good logical answer to them, but it makes you kind of work around it in your mind, and it takes the focus away from other outside external things, and you start thinking about this unsolvable thing. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but one that almost everybody has heard before. This is a koan. What is the sound of one hand clapping? Almost everybody's heard that one, right? Another one is a real good one, is what is the color of the wind? And some of them are very simple like that, just little statements and questions. Some of them are more complex, and they're more like little stories that illustrate this unsolvable aspect of communication, of language, of the way we see the world and view reality. So, yeah, like I said, I'm just starting to learn this stuff, but it's pretty interesting, and I'll try to get some links for you in the description if you like. So check that out, and be sure to follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram, and all those cool places. I got all that stuff going on. Yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you'll like, subscribe, comment, and be in the moment. Laters.